Hello, I'm Stephen Monkey Mason. Now before this video starts, it's not like I haven't fucking tried. Alright? It's a brand new chair.
How are you vicious?
Snow! No fucking snow! You say snow? I don't see any fucking snow. Bastards.
Oh. Oh! Posty! Oh! Posty!
So yeah. Right. So it's been 10 years since I made Killing the Boredom. Terrifying, right? So there's Killing the Boredom there, DVD. It's been nearly 20 years since I made that. So that's the original movie. That's the original promo. It's got Smells Like Horse Shit in there. That actually belongs to Live On. It's another film with Matty Connor. So that's Better Than FA, the original, and essentially the remake. Better Than FA, Killing the Boredom. Now, I've tried a little best for light. This is literally just a little throwaway video. Just trying to fill the channel up with some content and stories. And I came up with this one the other day and just thought, whoa, it's an interesting video. I don't want to put any editing into it. Maybe tiptoeing down the line the rest of the year about this, but 10 years ago I came back from New Zealand, deja vu. So I've just come back from New Zealand this year. And I went to New Zealand very clouded. I didn't know what I was going to do. Funny enough, I'd just literally done the Castro music video and the Ink video back to back, and I also made Smells Like Horse Shit, yeah, which is a line from the song, and that was basically me exploring the avenue of stuff I wanted to do, interviews, into cutting it, you know, filling in the gaps in why stuff was why it was, and all kinds of stuff, you know, and I had great fun doing that, and that was like sort of a benchmark for stuff to come. But when I came back from New Zealand, I was determined to make a film about Better Than FA. And I hadn't really touched anything for 7 years, Killing the Boredom, Better Than FA wise. It's been about 10 years. No, it's not. It's about every 5 years I start to think, and then something normally comes up. So for about 4 years ago, I did the movie Branches, the Better Than FA movie Branches, which I'll try to remember to talk about. But this is about Killing the Boredom. So the original movie was made in the early 2000s. This is all like self-made. Some really good producers behind this. I'm not going to name check anyone here for the good or the bad, because it's in the past really. So the original movie was made, and then it opened a lot of doorways to stuff. Spent some time traveling, made some great friends, made some great bands, did a lot of music videos, and mainly was going towards music videos, but the ideas and bands sort of dried up quite quickly, and I was wanting to branch out and like travel. I ended up travelling later on for stuff like Manchester and bits and bobs like that, but I came back from New Zealand and I wanted to do the movie, and you know, about a year and a half later, it was done, and it's never seen the light of day. And the big question at the moment, would it be on YouTube? And it's not going to be on YouTube. Why? Mainly, the main reason now is me, because I'm lazy. It's kind of thing. The film wasn't made for YouTube, but if someone had got a hold of it and put it on YouTube, it'd probably get taken down, because the movie was so. It's all in-house, so there's never a victimization of the third. It's always, you know, it's based over 13 years Killing the Boredom, so you had like errors in my life, and you try to put that in an hour and a half roller coaster of comedy, and you sort of try. It's a balancing act, And like straight from the get go, it's just like, well, how the fuck do you do that? You know what I mean? You got so much footage, you got so many people. Not only myself, so myself in the movie, I'm an on-screen person, is my life. You know, it's me. Every single clip in the film, I'm there, but I'm either behind the camera or I'm in the scene. And you know, the stupid is. You know what I mean? Everyone has different kinds of stupidity, and a lot of the stuff in Killing the Bomb is natural. But you've got like characters like Cooper, Payson, Raoul, Jack, Ned. You know, the list goes on, and then you try to make these characters mix, and then of course, not everyone knows each other, and it was a weird balancing act. But I think we're killing the boredom after a long time, and a bit of shout out to Vicky as well at this point, because she was a big part of like an outsider looking in as well at the original edit of the movie, and I was happy with it. I was really happy with it. It was great to come back to that footage and discover a lot of footage that, you know, was missing from back in the day. Like, you come back to something like 10 years later and you find it funny because of just X, Y, and Z. Why do I find Payson really funny, drunk as a skunk, being angry that he just died on Snake on a Nokia phone? Like, what's wrong with you? Died on Snake. It's just like, it's one of my funniest memories of Payson, because he's just so like angry about dying on Snake. But again, it's like you look back. But the movie isn't on YouTube now because, again, it would need heavily edited. Again, there'll be a lot of content just blurred out. And I'm not interested about revisiting it as a movie. Another few reasons why the movie's not available, I would say. 10 years is a long time. Let's talk about the bands, you know what I mean? It was brilliant. Like, when I first made the first Better in FA, you got two bands on this, and they are Bill Podmore's Nose and Skinflint. Yeah, additional content. But yeah, literally that was it. You had them two bands, and then when it come around to Killing the Boredom, you had stuff like, I mean, Mitch isn't in Killing the Boredom. I hadn't really become friends with Mitch. Matty Connor's in it, you know, AKA's in it. Stomp 66, Laconia, Obsessive Compulsive, Lunajet, What Gorilla are in it, Dr. Lipshit, Solo, Bill Podmore's Nose, Skinflint have a cheeky cameo. There's a lot of bands creeped into it. Yeah, a long time ago. Like, again, bands. Some bands I'm really good friends with. I can just drop them a message. I always drop them a message. I don't just like chuck them in a production for the crack. But a lot of bands are in it, who I don't really see now. I mean, What Gorilla have done really well over the last couple of years, but it's one thing to, like, 10 years later, go, hey, I'm going to release this film, because the bands went in. It was pretty awesome, and like the intro. I mean, one of the crimes maybes with the movie is the intro's never been released, which is Stomp 66, which is this fucking mashup, and it was really designed to go name check. This is a person. This is the best bits, but nothing was ever repeated. So it was in the intro. It was in the intro. It never appeared throughout the movie. Again, just like, again, I'm jumping between why it's not available and the making of here. But like, when I was making the movie, there was so much footage, man. There was a bonus. There's a bonus extra about 45 minutes where it ended up called Better Than Nothing, and that was all the footage that just didn't make the cut. But like, there was laws made, like it could only appear once, nothing would get reused. So the intro was very like, poof, right, you're in. So with the intro, mash up of stupid bits, like a mini best of, and then everything was sort of grouped together, like the original version. So the Error of Raoul's House grouped together. Just Lemonade was together. Theme stuff was together. But then stuff like Nottingham was cut. Spain was cut. See, there's, again, so the movie was made and got sent off, right? And there's some really big producers behind it. Again, I don't want to name check anybody, but YouTube wasn't a fucking thing then, really, like a counter thing. And the movie was never designed to be digital. Digital wasn't thought about back then. Getting it on physical media and in the shops was where it was at. So the movie went away, and then it came back, and then some people got interested, then other people got interested, then like companies got interested in distribution, and then money ideas going around, and I never accepted any money, hence why I still own all the movie. But there was a few people, you know, like one of the people I first met was like, he was like, right, can we not like split it into 2 movies? And I was like, no, I just fucking finished it. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to spend ages like redoing a second movie. Again, at the time as well, a load of new footage was filmed that was like, there was a cut-off point. Like, when I went to New Zealand, that was the cut-off point. So everything I filmed after New Zealand, and bear in mind it's nearly a year and a half later, which became the show This Is Just Life. I was like, no, I'm not making a second fucking movie. It's like one fucking movie. It's like, this is better than FA. This is like the best bits. That's deal with it. And then another guy came in, and there was a lot of money in that bit, and I'm getting right again. It's my life. The bands, there'll be a soundtrack, right? That's fine, that's cool. But again, protecting the bands, personally protecting them, and then protecting my friends, which was the main important thing for me. And I remember him like the guy coming in, watching the movie. It seemed to go all right with him, you know. You sit there and you're sitting there with somebody like you're paying attention to what they're doing, and then like you get his notes, and it's fucking horrendous. Like, this bit needs to go, that bit needs to go, this bit needs to go, and we ended up having to start add interviews in, which I wasn't really keen about. Mainly important was Jack in Nottingham, so Nottingham really got separated. Nottingham got literally dismantled and put into these wake up call bits, or like a funny bit, and like the mini best ofs flickered throughout the film. But then the one bit with the kettle, I mean, if you watch This Is Just Life in the episode and you had everyone who sat down who'd seen the movie at this point, what was the best bit about the movie, or the worst bit? Everyone said the kettle, and they didn't want the kettle in the movie. I was like, it's got to be in there. I mean, I haven't seen it since, and I haven't like around the whole world, and I haven't seen it then. There was a couple of clips that wanted removed, which got removed. It's fine. I was getting right. Like, again, it's all in the inner circle. It's all just jokes between friends. But some stuff is a bit like, oh, it's a bit minging. But again, it's just life. Shit happens. But the kettle is sick and it's throbbing over, and I had to add Jack in, so Jack sat down for an interview, and Jack was really good once Jack was telling the story. But again, putting Jack's interview in, I think it ended up being under like 4 minutes. And then they were like, right, the lemonade bottle over the house needs to go, and then you need to put an interview about lemonade. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? And I think originally like 15 minutes of interviews went into the film. So 15 minutes of footage ended up in the fucking making of. But again, it was going well. It's on IMDb. We had to do brand new artwork for it. So that cover has an alternative cover. This is not one of... There was a flip cover. I was really keen for a flip cover. That's not the flip cover. That's not it either. There's a flip cover of me sitting on a toilet outside in the bathroom. And the lemonade bottle going to the house, but then there's a front cover of just a montage of the street cones and the masks and shit. That's the one that's ended up on IMDb. Again, fucking, we want a different colour cover. I was good. Do I not get any choice in this? I remember this, like, sitting there going, because it's hard when you're like, you're not only the director, a producer, an editor, but then it's your life, and you're like, wait, I am who I am. I just want to get on with life. I want to have a laugh. I want to have a good time with friends. And I want to have the best life I can. But I don't want to be made into something I'm not. And I was just like, I got very protective. And again, with Spain, I mean, poor Spain footage. I went to Spain. I've lived in Spain for 6 months of my life. Made this mint montage mashup. Proto-hero, and like, well, we're not sure about Spain. I was like, for fuck's sake. And like, we need to like drop this bit and drop that bit. Then Proto-Hero, which is a band who are on one of my albums, again, like, everyone had to be signing contracts and shit and legal work. Like, couldn't fucking get a hold of Proto-Hero, and they're like, right, well, you just can't have Proto-Hero. And I was like, come on, at least give us a couple of days to see if I get a message back. And Proto-Hero didn't end up, and Spain didn't end up, and again, chopped up. So the movie started not to look like the movie I originally watched, and it was really cool, the show nights we had when you have a group of people around, and I wish these were filmed again. We're not talking digital, so I couldn't really just slap the camera up in the corner of a room. I wish it did at this point, and just have like a sort of watch audio commentary reaction video. Because obviously an hour in, you have to change a tape, like mini DV tapes. But again, there were nights I wish were captured, because there's nothing better than that, you know, like watching somebody. I mean, you make a video now, you post it on YouTube, and someone watches it, thumbs down straight away, and they're like, what? Like, did I do something? Again, there's no like interaction with it. You don't see if someone's laughing at it. Does someone dislike your video because you've made a better video than they have, or they like YouTube just randomly played it and you think, what the fuck's that? Or just someone just going, oh fuck that, you know, someone, what are you going to do now? I'm just going to dislike loads of videos and give loads of grief to people. It's a different time, you know. Like the end of the year, like experience people's reactions to footage as well, and it was cool. It was cool, always cool as well when, you know, like people who you referred to as the cast would come around and watch the film, and you would have them coming around. Like I remember some nights Barney and Payson used to sit behind everybody and just watch other people watching the films, and it was really, really cool nights, and they always got silly and funny and that, and I would never forget them nights. But again, we sort of, so the movie was made and I wasn't 100% happy with it, and then the movie just got held back, and it got held back for This Is Just Life. Now This Is Just Life was like 24 episodes of my life, from I come back to New Zealand 10 years ago till a point in my life where I was like, right, that's it, that's that era. And I was willing to give like maybe 80% of it like full out. I was very protective of everybody. And then there was an episode about killing the boredom, right bang in the middle, which suited the timeline of when the fucking film was made and the timeline of what you were watching. And I love them episodes. I love the fact that we took the interview idea that they had and sort of forced into the original movie, but the idea that it would be interactive and you would have people interacting with other people about points of view or certain stuff, and it was a lot of fun editing. But again, it was so frustrating because like episode 16 sticks in my head the most, because that scene had about 4 people and the 4 interviews that were filmed really early on. So that episode was the original demo episode when it came to what the intro and what the outro would be like, done. That episode was on YouTube for nearly 2.5 fucking years before it was released, because everything else had to wait for people to be involved, get interviewed, you know, get it submitted, see what they like, changes to be made. And I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking insane. And obviously the idea, what this guy had presumed, had said, look, we'll have the film ready, we'll have all the glass prints done, we'll have the artwork done, we'll have posters done. He even promised us like a showing. We talked about 3 or 4 bands to do a really good night, and and do it. We're actually going to do it in Newcastle as well. We're going to do one up here, hometown, and then do more of a commercial one in town, and again start capitalising on YouTube or whatever. But again, the show would be like 6 or 7 episodes in, and then boom, the episode about the movie would drop, and then the movie would be available to buy from a website or eventually get it in. It definitely got an 18 rated, but again, it's just fucking sitting there. But you know, life changed with me personally, and I finished the series, and I'm proud of the series. But the series isn't available. The elephant in the room is, you know, stuff needs sorting out. But again, I went away from that, and I just spent a couple of years, a bit of a recluse. Build a lot of bridges back with my friends, changed my life a lot better. Changed for the better, really. No problem there with the music video, but I just started to keep very productive and stayed away from the Better FA thing. And so it's like, personally, I made the movie, I'm happy with it. Again, fair enough, it's not available for people to buy or whatever, but you know, that wasn't what I was aiming at. You know, it was the producer's point of view to make money and how to get the most out of the money he would want to put in. But again, I wasn't willing to sign over the film, because I wasn't willing to sign over the archive footage, which I think the guy was more interested in, you know, taking the movie and then he could like take it to bits and do whatever the fuck you want. I was like, no, because it's all about like friendship, you know, and like protecting your friends and like it being like making sure it's the best for everyone. I wasn't willing to be a cunt to anyone, basically. You know what I mean? So for example, right, Chambers, right? One of these messages right now, and this is no word of a lie, is Chambers. So there's WhatsApp. There's a message off Chambers right there. Just come through. Chambers was a big part in my school life, and then into early college and the early nights out. Essentially around the era of half of Better FA. when I approached Chambers about being in the movie 10 years ago, didn't want to be interested. I mean, getting a hold of Chambers is a fucking nightmare. He's just got a phone. He's just got WhatsApp with me for the last 6 months. I mean, this guy didn't even know about the coronavirus because he doesn't. It's like, come on, Mark. Again, though, this is a guy who lived 5 doors up from us in the street. We had some corking nights, some very drunk nights. You know what I mean? And he didn't want to be in the movie. I mean, he broke his foot on camera and he didn't want to be in the movie. I said, all right, you're not in the movie. There was a couple of people I challenged on because, again, you're talking about like releasing a movie, and I tracked down a few people and they're like, well, I don't want to be in the movie. I said, dude, you are sitting right next to me and you purposely sit there because we're filming something anywhere. And then he got an argument with him. I am the one who comes off worse. You are just in the frame. Out of all the years I've known you, I'm not blocking you out the film. And he went, all right, you know, like, and he wasn't in the rest of the movie. He just, again, look at it as a cameo. You know what I mean? So there was a few people like that, like a bit wary in that, like, but I was like, look, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this as a whole. You know what benefits? Again, you want to know straight away if someone, what's best for people. Because again, looking back at it now, why don't I release the movie? Pearson now has 2 amazing kids. Marley was sitting in this very chair just before the lockdown, just going. And you know, Pearson's got a family. Pearson, like, again, it's just not Pearson though. It's his kids, it's his wife. You know what I mean? Pearson's got an amazing life, and he's really put his. You know, again, you put him in front of the camera, he's fucking brilliant. He's dry as fuck. Always seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time back in the day. But that Raoul, I haven't seen Raoul for maybe 5 years. I haven't seen Raoul since Dean's funeral. I don't think passing, but. Message, Raoul was giving us a bit of grief, me and Jack. You know, Jack was at the back door the other day and we've all got beards. Again, Raoul got married in Mexico. He was in This Is Just Life as cameos and stuff pops up in that. Kids. Cooper. I meant to talk to Cooper before. Cooper's like an amazing daughter. Stedman, amazing daughter. These guys are all in fatherhoods. Me, personally, yes, I haven't had a kid yet. There's been a few mishaps down the line, but it's all about the future in your plan, and you got to respect that with people, you know. Scott, I haven't seen Scott since Pearson's. I think it's Pearson. I don't know. It was Pearson's wedding or the christening of Marley, and I'd seen Scott. And it was 2 days after the car crash, so it might have been the christening, or it might have been P's wedding. I think it was P's christening, and I haven't seen Scott since then. Scott's birthday the other day. I just wrote helmet on his wall. And laughing out loud, he knows what it is, and that's, again, I don't forget about this stuff. Casper, you know, I work with Casper all the time. His amazing family. I mean, his kids are amazing, even though Kaylee stabbed me in my head 24 hours before I went to New Zealand, and I had this gash in the top of my head on a beach, and I've never felt pain. But again, personally, it's protecting my friends in that friend circle. Everyone's different from that era, you know what I mean? I mean, Conrad, who nearly gets his head blown off with a firework in the movie, which is actually on the back of the box, I point that out. Conrad's 2 kids now, man, and I think they're in their 20s. And it's like, shit, man. Like, you see the footage of Conrad and you might have a little kid running past and you think, like, that is fucking crazy. I mean, Ned's, like, if you look back at What's in the Tree video, which is notoriously known for the firework hitting off the fucking tree, which is not my idea. And these fires are coming down, you got these kids running around, and you think not only is Kate not like that anymore, and she's like this, she's a fucking mother. And I think Mason, funny enough this kid's name, is like nearly 10, or is 10. You think, fuck me, you know, time just goes poof. Again, you're looking back now, going back to Chambers wasn't in the movie, and me and Chambers have had a few amazing drinking nights out. There's one night me, Bell and Chambers went out and we bumped into Pearson, and me and Chambers were fucking mortal. Next year, where's that clip of me we were talking about? Like, what clip? Like, it just fucking rings. It rings. The clip when I fall off the bus down. I was like, it's not on the, he didn't want it on the internet. And then I made a promo about him. And when he falls off the bus down, and I just repeated it. Because when you see his ankle just go, it's just like, fuck. Oh. And he just goes, the ankle. And I sent him the video. He's like, oh, fucking hell, that's meant. I was like, alright. So, and then I seen him about a week later and we went up drinking again, and I managed to edit this video. I didn't release it, but again, just him dropping on his fucking my ankle. And that was cool. And yeah, like that was like, yeah, that's what makes Better Than FA cool to me personally. Not for the bigger world, but my friends. Because Jack will be like, "Oh, you fucking, I never used to wear that." I'll be like, "What? See, you didn't used to wear like salmon fucking hats and fucking these t-shirts." "No, I didn't fucking." You just send him a clip and you're like, "Oh fuck, man, I didn't remember that." But again, it's good times, you know what I mean. Again, Jack, you know, like I like love going up to Jack's. One of the things just before lockdown happened, I went up and Jack's boy Alex and me built this fucking Playmobil Ghostbusters thing where Jack cooked tea and, you know, Jack's got the other two girls and Jack's like multitasking like that, and like that's awesome. Like I will not like jeopardize that in the world, but like say for example if me and Jack released a clip and you're like fucking hell, and again say for example like one of the lads early on, I'm just going to call him Al, right? We'll call him Al. He's in the early footage. The guy's a fucking school teacher now. You know what I mean? And we went travelling in France, and a lot of my France footage never gets seen because Al's right next to us, and again we're really young. He's a fucking school teacher. You know what I mean? And there's a few people back then look at us and just distance themselves and get, well, no, that's fine. You know, that's fine. If you don't want to like be my friend, don't be my friend for the camera. You know what I mean? But don't just completely blank us. And if you do, I'm like, I'm not gonna forget you, mind. I never forget. But then I made Branches, and Branches was really cool. So Branches was like about 4 years ago, and it's all based around the Gill Bridge concert. And it's literally like I went back and I revisited, but I had so much footage, and like nearly everyone from Better Than FA at some point had been there in some capacity. So what we did was we sort of took that and sort of really rolled with it and turned it into a movie. It was locked down. I mean, tonight I'm going to try and unlock it because it was 18 rated, but not the fucking point now. Just get it unlocked. It's past its probation. Just forget about it really, but. I really like that movie. Again, just something like, you know, that was really cool to do, and revisit and stuff like that. So that's maybe something I could do more of, because when you try to go, right, what is Better Than FA now, when you go, everything I do is Better Than FA. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you. It's better than fuck all, isn't it? You know what I mean? I've just finished a fucking 3-hour podcast with Paul and Carl, but again, I'm fucking filling out the tape. It's not a tape, it's digital, but I was fixing my chair. That's why I had the WD-40. Just sprayed my leg. But you could look at it now and go, Better Than FA is that era. You got This Is Just Life, which is an era, and then you've got like the Lonely Tree era. So again, why not a best of Lonely Tree entertainment? But again, it's more like, I've talked about this in previous videos, I think the movie room, where I couldn't have this kind of stuff behind us. It would be stripped down, you know, like again, all the footage, blank t-shirts, fucking duct tape on beer cans, can't say that, can't reference that, and it would just get cut. And I got taught that at such an early age, because I was like 21 when I got signed, and the guy who signed us now, I mean, he's going to do some amazing stuff. Again, I'm not name checking, but like I'm just trying to look at the background. Oh, there's not. There's someone over there point blank in my brain, if I don't want to point out what it is, but it's one of his films. I'm just looking at us, taunting us. Even like the Warning Area 51 sign, it's the original sign there from the movie. I don't even see, just above this guy here is called Paul, because he's from New Zealand. The original Mr. Pumpkinhead mask, there's loads of Better Than FA elements around it. So you could go, oh, the best of Mr. Pumpkinhead, or the best of that sign. You could make some YouTube stuff like that, but again, it's kind of like, I'd rather just go off and do other stuff. I like talking about movies I've just done. I mean, we've just done tonight the podcast for The Labyrinth. Again, it's more the case of what I'm into. Now, I've just come back from New Zealand this year, and if you look at this in comparison, like, so 10 years ago I came back from New Zealand. 2 years later, after that, the movie was dead in the water, so to speak. You know, so a year after that as well, This Is Just Life was finished. It had one shown, like, it got streamed once and then just got locked away. And you think that's 24 episodes. There's 75 people interviewed for that show. There's a lot of time and effort went in that. But again, it's done. The movie, dead in the water. I came back from New Zealand end of February, 23rd, 24th of February by the time I got back to the whole world. Prepped it. Obviously, I didn't have to upload the footage in real time because it's all digital. Went in lockdown, and it's been nearly 3 weeks now. Probably fucking 2 months by the time this video comes out. And all I've got to do is clip and start the end. But like, if you look at that and you go, I made 16 episodes of a show, all in high def, painstakingly the own way, because I've just got a brand new computer the last couple of days. But I went through all this footage and I like sort of like, I made, I mean, Welcome to the Land of the Long White Cloud, I think it's got the scale of This Is Just Life, and it's got the backlog. I mean, again, how it uses the archive I really love, but like as a production, like my mindset to be able to sit down and go, right, bang, I'm not held by a producer to go, right, well, not that bit, don't want that bit, what about that song, we can't get the rights to the song. Me taking on that producer side of it and going like, say for example Kelly and Giz from Obsessive Compulsive, love the music video, it's class that the guys that sent us the vinyls keep us up to date. They're a new band called The Empty Page. All I had to do was, Kel, can I use one of the Empty Page tracks for the show? I'm playing pool, nothing over the top, I just, you know, there's U2 playing in the background, and it's not like I hate U2, yes I do, but the fact is, you can't have that footage because U2's playing in the background. Can I put that footage on there? Yeah, no problem, yeah, bang, just gone. And again, that was really cool to do. And like, to drop all 16 episodes, because like, This Is Just Life was weekly, you know what I mean? Right, doom, it's out there, you want to binge watch it like you do, I'm getting, times have changed, it's out there, it's done, dusted, you know. So again, done all that in the last, what, 3 months? So, you know, I don't think I'm ever going to do any better. I think that is me, you know, for the last couple of years when I haven't done anything better FA orientated around that. It's me just going, right, boom, I'm a veteran of this, bang, that's my life. And it's a bold thing to do, but again, I definitely put that out as the best thing I'm probably going to do for the next couple of years, I'll imagine. But when it comes to better FA, it's kind of like, it's been 10-year anniversary. I would love to put the intro on. I mean, maybe, I'm not sure. I might have a look at a few clips for the outtakes, but and chuck some stuff in there. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take the camera and charge it. So yeah, again, I've just done a 3-hour podcast. Can I do this without breaking anything? Probably not. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll come back in the outtakes and continue the story, because again, one of the elephants in the room I haven't mentioned yet was the Better FA reunion, what happened about 3 weeks ago. So in the outtakes, actually not an outtakes, we'll jump cut to some old footage and then I'll come back in the outtakes.
Helmet.
What are you doing on my phone?
I died at the snake.
You pissed?
Me. There's a fucking bear shit in the woods. 2.5 years. And I got shafted a bit like this.
Jack has no power.
Freak out.
Oh! I have the snow!
Was it fucking accident? I'll fix it.
Fuck off, you fuzzy head cunt.
I'll fucking fix it for you now, bro.
It's a good trip on you, by the way, guys. Seriously, if I get set on fire here, I will not be happy. Is this recording, buddy?
Has anyone seen Cloverfield?
Yeah.
No. Ah, it's warm. It's really warm.
Oh shit,
Maybe if I can get. Ah, there's wax on my leg! Get it out! This one.
I didn't get you there.
God, it's in the melon.
Popcorn! Long jocks are coming! Oh shit! It was in the fucking eye!
Oh, perfect shot, guy. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, shit! Fucking hell. Oh, fucking me!
Oh my god!
Just leave me up here.
Just shit yourself.
Shit. Ah, my ankle.
So no, we're there. Stop lighting that cigarette. You'll burn your nose like last time. You'll burn your nose. You'll burn his. You see, he hasn't learned.
How much you pay me for this?
I'll pay you £5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. You got £5.
No, yeah.
So that's £10.
No, don't double it.
Right.
Just say, my uncle.
£10. I'll do a flip. I'll do a flip.
No, flip. I don't want you to break out in. My uncle. Just say that.
What?
My uncle.
Right. Take two.
My uncle.
No. Don't put pressure on us. Don't put what?
My uncle.
Don't put pressure on us.
I'm not putting pressure on you.
Take 3. Right. Start again. Take 4.
No, take 5.
No, stop it. Take 5.
This is better than FA. Untitled so far. This is Jim's.
I,
You.
I'm young.
My uncle. My uncle.
My Scottish.
My uncle. My uncle. That's the one.
What do you look there? No, people, follow the people. Look at the people. Go back there, people.
While we're in these random, I mean, I don't even know if the camera's fucking straight. I've just dumped it there and just went for it. It's better if I go. But while we're in this little mini montage before I come back to me ranting away, there's one clip that obviously I uploaded years ago and it's had a lot of views, and it's my friend Kieran, also known as Wizzy, getting punched right in the balls. Typical, like, I mean, what, I would have been like 19 then. I'm fucking 37 now. The reason why Kieran is standing, because there's so many comments, oh, that's fucking fake, the sound's dubbed, and it's got a fucking shitty transition. The reason why the camera's the way it is like there's park benches and the fucking camera was on a tripod and it was just put on it was forgot filming, and I realised it was filming, and Kieran had fucking come along and just fucking stood like this, like laying shot, and I just walked along and went poof. You know what I mean? I mean that's, you know, like, that's a silliness, but like, ow, getting old. It wasn't as extreme as that, but everyone's like, oh, it's fake. How is this fucking fake? Let's just trim this and see if you can spot any sound effect issues.
I think it was only one word sound. He got his knob out.
You use up to something I can tell. That nut.
You know, that probably didn't look as vicious as that, but I can feel that. Getting old. We're getting old. But yeah, always get a few comments there. Kieran, I haven't seen Kieran for a long time. Kieran's obviously, he's got a son as well. So I have to do some good things, Kieran. But again, tracking down Kieran, missed unfortunate events because Kieran, you know, being one of my oldest friends as well from school. I can still feel a tingle. Kieran being one of the oldest friends. There's quite a few. There's definitely one of the grimmest fucking things in Better Than FA and Killing the Boredom with Kieran. But again, you'll have to wait to see the movie if you do ever see the movie. But there was one time as well after, because Kieran's stuff was always revenge. But I remember one time at Raoul's house and Raoul had moved, and with a fucking Argos book, and he was looking for the N. He even says he's looking for the N64 remote. I mean, that's how old it is. Next thing you know, whack! And I didn't intention me to hit him that hard, but if you're doing a backhander like that, you fucking knock your fucking teeth out. You are Happy Gilmore. Keep. Oh, I fancy doing the goal.
Fucking key pucks.
Q-Bucks. How will you kind of go out? What are you doing?
What weird? You're gonna find this for.
So people are aware of where I am.
Should we kind of find out of a joy park?
Sure. It's a yellow one. I think I'd see it if it was kicking about. It would still be one short though, Space Monkey.
We'll spray Wednesday as well.
But that's shit. Have a leisurely drive up Monkeys and get it. Fucking hell, you dick!
Alright. Fucking washroom, knock me fucking teeth out! I tell you what, I'll punch your fucking head in.
I do miss Kieran, I really do. I've always got the time of the day for him, but he's a little bit angry, like. But like, again, you look back at eras like that in your life and your friendship, and we had some great times. But again, just a guy on the internet's always asking us, "Have I heard from Kieran? Is he still alive?" And I was convinced for a while it was Kieran, because Kieran's really, really good. Kieran is like Lloyd Christmas in Dumb and Dumber. And when he's like, Lloyd Christmas has spent 20 years in a mental institution just to get one up on Harry. That's what Kieran does. He waits. And again, yeah, just again, friendship. And I mean, I'm just literally picking clips now and throwing this little mashup together, and just like, you've seen stuff like Mr. Pumpkinhead, which is Rowell. Just what inspired the song by Bill Podmore's Nose, Mr. Pumpkinhead, where you going? And just, that was Millennium Day. That was 2000 New Year's Day. I mean, Raoul just appears in that tree, just keeps on fucking running. You had Conrad, firework over his head. You've seen Chambers. You've seen Jack and Cooper holding his head like that. And even Cooper, where he's like, "I have the snow," which again is a little promo. I took some notes and I just went digging through the archive, and oh man, it's one of the reasons I love Better FA. So yeah, hopefully this just fills a little void, a little bit of an edit, but yeah. Still feel that little tingle.
25 pence.
Right, here's the crack. It's better than FA3. And Monkey got on the phone to us the other night saying, "Do I want to come round and do something?" What Monkey doesn't know is early as fuck in the morning. He won't be up because he was at work last night. And I've got an air horn, and it's time to air horn Monkey. He's going to get us back, but don't give a fuck. It's time to air horn the bastard. Let's go.
Morning, fuck back. Ready to start filming? Oh.
You might have had a few cheeky old school clips there. Stuff I know I can just chuck out there without really offending anyone. Ned's expendable. No, again though, this whole lockdown thing, I started a new show called Branching Out, and I caught up with people like, well, I seen Matt and Mitch last night, but when I want to talk about Matt, about Steel Time Music and stuff, that was really cool. Mitch touring, early days of being like signed and stuff, cool. Cav, you know, just the history of Cav's band, and just again catching up and just doing the podcast was really cool. And then we did Cooper, and Cooper was like, it was really cool to catch up with Cooper, and had a lot of fun with that. And again with Cooper, it was kind of like, right, Cooper's a great one, and then because Cooper's always, you just give Cooper a camera, a microphone, he's fucking golden. And Stedman really picked up on it, and like, Stedman's really cool, but Stedman was always a bit street smart when it comes to stuff, but he was a great organiser as well. Stedman, I don't think Stedman got enough credit that he did back then for producing stuff, organising stuff, which I can't thank him for more. But like, Stedman was really like, right, why don't we do a podcast about Nottingham and Nottingham again, going back to like the original movie. There's a Nottingham picture right on the front. Nottingham had a 13-minute, and it just showed you the trip. the best it could be, and it was all just chopped up, and you know what I mean, just looked very confusing, and like, again, going back to the old films, it was just a vlog. There wasn't the idea of telling the story of why, what, and how. It's just like, it's just like, what the fuck, just deal with it. It's better than fuck all. And then obviously Jack. So we get our 4 on the podcast. Adam was up for doing it, but then Adam had the best quote ever. I don't fucking remember anything. And just the reunion of me, Jack, Cooper, and Stedman sitting down. We did the podcast in here, and we just talked about Nottingham. It was fucking class. And like, the idea going forward with Better Than FA would be the fact that once lockdowns are eased, once life's back to normal more, and once maybe we can set it up. It maybe is one of the Cartmel's fucking stations or something, and get it sat down and actually think about doing episodes specifically for the internet, about certain errors. Maybe this is a panel, you know, if it's a panel kind of thing, or like a panel with a special guest and a few episodes, and you look back and you showcase that old school footage, and you sort of jump around the T's and the I's. I mean, do you really show the camera going over the top and you see the sick just go boom? I mean, less is more with stuff like that. Is it younger me, like, fucking hell, look at that, the camera, and then even the camera steams up and go like, but that's just a touch of realism, you know, it's not like fake. But again, like, less is more on certain stuff. But even more looking back at something really old footage and go, right, why do you find that funny, and pointing out that's more interesting, because if you just chuck it in a film, again, when you sit with these people and you sit there and you feel fucking analysing fucking everything you do. Why is that in? I don't find it funny. Right, that goes. Again, trim it down, put some in, get that in. Why is that in? Well, I find it funny. Why do you find it funny? Again, talking about it would probably work more as an online thing, which that's something I'm really interested in. Not right now. As honestly as I say, it's not me being lazy. It's just I can't be bothered to watch the movie. It'd be interesting to bring the movie to HD, the best it could be, because the entire Better FA was all filmed on standard definition. But it's going through it, and I don't want to go, oh, right, check this movie out, and it's just blurred, snipped, chipped, and people, oh, fucking shit, that. And I'm like, well, I'm proud of the movie, I'm happy with the movie, but there's just too many X's and O's and fucking creativity, and again, some of these people that have a name check, producer-wise, come up the woodwork, be like, oh, fucking hell, gentleman's agreement. I'm like, no, fuck off, man. No. Not having any of it. So yeah, this started off as a rant. It took a making of, kind of like, tribute to the history of Better Than FA, 10th anniversary, a couple of clips. So online, you can watch Branches. It's a movie that was designed for the internet, that one. These two right here, God, I can't even remember the last time I seen this one. Should really get some more of them t-shirts made. Again, why was I wearing a t-shirt in the front cover? Because like I had to get my own fucking t-shirts made, because I couldn't wear anyone else's fucking t-shirt. I want to find one of the other covers of these. But again, these were all meant to come like first batch signed, sample edition. Put a copy inside there as well. But yeah, go back to once it came from. But no, I am interested in content down the line, but you'll have to see. I mean, the podcast was really cool, but again, I didn't want to make a big series of it. I'd rather stick. I mean, I think the next official podcast is Chris Stewart, who obviously does the Angels and the Norths. Paul, Ray and Carl are going to do one. We're going to do about formats and stuff. So Cooper was a really cool cat. We'll definitely get another member. I mean, Ned has been on the cards for a while, but again, it's like everyone's locked down. Not everyone's killing the boredom. A lot of people's got stuff going on in their lives, and I think that reflects the film. Why not just bring it out now? It's been 10 years. People's lives can change tomorrow. 10 years is a fucking lifetime, especially in film. But yeah, 10-year anniversary of Killing the Boredom, the movie you probably never get to see. Unless someone comes along and goes, right, here's some money, I'll sort everything out and everything will be okay. And it's nearly 25 years. So yeah, Killing the Boredom was the best of 13 years, and then add 10 year on now, so it's 23 years of Better Than FA. It's fucking terrifying. And people wonder why Abraham's insane. See you in the outtakes.
absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Easy quick outtake. I've just got my Area 51 sign and Cooper's just rang. So do you remember your incident with the Area 51 sign?
Yes, I fucking do. And, I had a tyre smashed through me fucking balls with it.
So yeah, this has seen a lot of action over the years. This was meant to be the outtake and he's just phoned out a coincidence. So yeah, next outtake. I can't honestly think of one section of the movie I can put in here that would be perfectly fine. I go, oh yeah, that'll be good, because like again, it'd be good because you can showcase it. Oh yeah, it's got a bit of music on. I can probably sort that right out. That music easy enough. And then you just think of like a clip, and you're like, oh no, it's a bit X-rated. Intro would be cool as a clip, but then no, I don't know about the intro. This outro end credits, because you jump me as fuck here because like I don't know what's going to be in or where it's going to end. This chair as well. This chair I could be like going, bye Stephen. But like again, just to talk a story. I had this chair. I had a chair for years. I had a chair for 10 years, right? Fucking brilliant. One day, fucking went backwards over tits, fucking kicking everything. Fucking base just snapped in half. Didn't get on camera. And then I went and got like a brand new one from Argos. And because I sit and edit all the time, yes, I've got a history of bad backs, right? A few stupid shit. Got this new chair. First couple of nights I was like, get in. And then I started leaning like this. The chair's actually still downstairs. And it's all cushioned and there's fucking must be nails, you know, screwed up in the fucking underneath. Like someone's went, right, get this chair doing. Next. I'm leaning like this and the fucking nails have started to puncture the padding. And then I can't do a podcast on this old chair because of like, not this chair, but the other chair like, yeah, I'm random as fuck. But again, I think like, you gotta think this. I'm trying to think the best way to put this. I often refer to myself sometimes as shattered. Not as tired, but like shattered glass, fragments. It's why it's called like Lonely Tree and branches and fucking shit like that, because it's a part of my life. It just echoes off. I've got a fucking tree here, just for example. Just sitting here. This is the original logo tree, this. So you got like Baron FA, Lonely Tree, bands, life, work, podcast. It's all a branch of a branch of a branch of a branch. And it just sits there all lonely. And I'll actually tell you a little story in a second. But like, I think when you look back, and I don't remember a lot of the old stuff at all. Like a lot of the time, I see myself through someone's point of view of the camera, but then I also see my point of view of looking at someone else and my actual fucking memories I'm looking at, you know, like in like there. Because sometimes it's weird for me to see a clip and then for me to remember it from my point of view. I'll be like, and I'll watch the clip and I'll be like, I'll put myself there and try and remember what it must have looked like, and it's just like, well, I just remember that and like the Abraham's reaction to stuff, and it's like, it's weird for me, and like there's so much footage like I just don't remember. You know, and again, when you're looking back at it years later, you'll be like, fucking hell, why did I say that? Well, why? You know, like, but again, I'm always going to be the same. I'm always going to like be loving films. I think the more you go back in the past, the less you see, because again, when you sort of agree to stuff. Like, again, right, if you wanted to get noticed 20 years ago, right, you didn't fucking just fucking make a little show reel on your phone, press the app, matches it all up, fucking add a pink elephant and fucking loads of weird shit. Like, you would have to fucking sit there and fucking make something that would get people invested, and then you would have to literally put it on a VHS, and you would have to mass produce them and just fucking send them out. You know, VHS is not fucking cheap. Some people would reply, some people would just never see the light of day. It got a little bit easier with DVDs and stuff, again, that's, but again, early ages, You would just have to fucking send it out. I mean, again, if you wanted to show your friends your movie, for example, me and Cooper talked about this. You'd have to come over and see it. You couldn't just send them it, even before MS, whichever one. But like now, you can just go, oh yeah, we transfer it to big file, or just YouTube unlisted. You know, everyone's got YouTube, and it's just so saturated the market. But back then, man, you just had to fucking make something that really stood out on a VHS, then send it away, and then maybes, just maybes, you would hear something. And I was lucky back then. I was really lucky. I think I was 20. I was 21 when I was officially signed, and I spent about fucking 5 years. I've just misdirection a lot of times. Sorry, like, but again, I wasn't going to fucking beat around the fucking bush. But I'll end this story with something quite controversial. So this just happened 2 nights ago. Once again, new computer. So a lot of the new computer, I was able to transfer a lot of stuff, and you got Lonely Tree Entertainment, and you got the production logo, and you've got the music, and I think we had to add Cav's song, because the original file I mustn't have like copied, cloned, right? But opened it up, font okay, imagery okay, colour, everything fine. A couple of nips and little tucks, and I was talking to Britt about it. I says, look, like, you know, we've changed the intro. We went for a purple theme. Originally it was red, because originally it was a red light bulb in the old house, a fucking blank wall, and that tree, and it was actually just fucking. I needed a name and a fucking. I mean, it's named after Sycamore Gap, but the tree actually used in the logo is the tree behind Sycamore Gap, and that tree is actually in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves 2. More facts. And it was just fucking. The camera filmed it, tripod down, hit a fucking grain, went for red because it was a red room, Lonely Tree Entertainment, tree lonely, branches off, boof, the new idea of Stephen, gone. And that's how Lonely Tree was born. Originally no music. First it was Ashes of Iron, and then it's changed to Cav for the future. Again, it was coming of age thing. So the intro is new. I mean, every time I've been to Sycamore Gap ever since I originally went there, I've come back and, like, you know, I set it up in that tree, and the actual camera is right underneath Sycamore Gap, filming that way. So it's just a random tree on the hill that no one cares about. That's my tree. So the idea of New Zealand was to maybe find a new intro, which we didn't. There was one Lonely Tree, and me and Britt both said, like, oh, why don't we? Why don't we like find something? And I found this massive blossom tree, and yes, there was trees behind it, but it was pretty cool. And I was like, oh, that might work, but it's not really moving. But again, start in England, end in New Zealand. The end credits. I mean, you know, if you get all the way to the video, and you'll see the end credits. And so I was setting it up, and Britt goes, "Oh, well, what about that clip when you're swinging in cousin Claire's backyard? They've got this fucking amazing tree." Again, if you watch Welcome to the Land of the Long White Cloud, there's a fucking clip where I'm just swinging on this rope, and it's fucking this amazing tree. It's like a fucking secret garden. I mean, I'm getting some grief off some chickens walking around, or hens, whatever they want to be. And I was just swinging on this tree. So when I was making sure everything, like the new logos and stuff, were all right, I thought, right, I'll put that in, cropped it in. I was like, right, that's cool. I'm swinging around, you know, you got the sky, you got all the branches looking like spider webs. I went for purple, so I lightened it up a bit. I brought the font in, I hit the 8mm, I was like, right, cool, stuck it there, right, that's clipped. Took Leon's song, and normally it's like, and now the end is near, doom, 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 doom. But I now went for doom, 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 doom. And now the end is near, and it fades out. So I changed the track around a little bit. Yeah. Fucking rang Brittany's shoulder. Yeah. Now, I am not making any kinds of fun of this, right? I've lost a lot of friends over this in general, and I've actually seen it in first person. I didn't realise until I sat back and just looked at it, the shot looked like I was hanging from a tree. It literally looked. You can't see me sitting on it. I had the whole arm extension. The rope ran parallel to my arm, and I had my head down, and I was just deadpanning the camera, spinning, and that's, you know what I mean. It's just some of the footage I filmed, you know, like swinging on this tree. But I was watching it, and I went, "Fuck me!" And obviously the song, and now the end is near. I was like, "Fucking hell!" was like, fuck. And obviously, controversial. And I mean, it's not going to be ever seen. But such a good fucking hell. I didn't even officially save it. I just went back to me just standing in front of Sycamore Gap. Like that is Sycamore Gap at the end. I was like, but he was like, fucking hell. But just looked wrong. But like, it had a great idea. But then it just like fucking hell. You know, when you look at something, step back and go, fuck me. I mean, I remember on again going back to YouTube, you never know who people are. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Like again, you're never going to know who that is. It's not like Facebook, you know, Instagram. It's again, people like give you comments and like they've got no videos. I mean, Paul Ray was like, someone's giving a shit. I'm on the podcast, and I clicked on his profile, and it's the kid sitting on the ground. He must have been about 8, hitting his action figures. And I was like, do you know what? That's quite a witty comment for a kid. I mean, you shouldn't be fucking listening to us on a podcast, but what are you gonna do? Tear a kid up? You know what I mean? Like, fucking leave it. You know what I mean? Who cares? It's fucking better than fuck all, remember? But I remember one guy, I was like, I don't know which podcast it was now, where he says, why don't you go and hang yourself from that lonely tree? And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, he doesn't know me. You know what I mean? He doesn't know what my state of mind is. And you know what? I fucking left the comment and I just wrote, mate, thanks for the comment. I'm just going to leave that here just to show you how lovely a person you are with the world. And it's still there. What fucking video was it? But you know, if you're going to get up in the morning and write something like that on someone's video, then fucking, no, like, fuck you. Like, literally fuck you. But again, just remembering that, like, seeing that end scene, like, Jesus. Like, that's not the last impression I want to leave with people. And again, I mean, no disrespect to it. I mean, again, if you look back at Better and Fair as well, you go, now look, that some people aren't with us anymore. And that's sometimes hard because, like, there's been clips I've seen in, like, especially some of the later stuff, again, when there was a little bit of budget there and you could burn a fucking full mini DVD tape. Again, when we got into digital. And, like, I think there's one of the lads called Jordan, and, like, I think he'll briefly be in a few clips, maybe at one of the house parties, and like, you really bless him, fell off a roof about 6 months later. You know what I mean? It's just like such a shock, and it's like fuck. But like, that happens. Dean, you know what I mean? Hadn't seen Dean for a couple of years. Slid on the tracks of some roads where, you know, he crashes in a tree and dies. And again, you know, when you meet up with, like, I hadn't seen Raoul at that point since maybe me wedding, and he turned up and you're just like, fuck, are we really here doing this? And like, again, you might see echoes of people's lives, you know what I mean? Because you lose contact with people. So I mean, people on Facebook will go off the radar and stuff like that. It's just fucking weird. But again, and that's personally why I'm happy to leave Killing the Boredom the way it is. It'd be really cool to revisit later on where it could be interactive, again, reminiscing with friends, especially if there's a cast established. So it is, if Rich, you know what I mean, because Rich is really good at organisation, but like Cooper's an amazing, funny guy. And if you had me and Cooper, and then you had guests, and it was themed, and you just looked at certain footage, it'd be all cool. But it's always been in-house, it's always friendly. And again, it's just life, really. So thanks for watching this video, getting the time out. Just ranting away, telling stories. But yeah. You know, it's like a lifetime ago. Yeah. And that one's been building up for a while, that go on camera, and that's really cool. Got nothing but love for like life with them. That's why I do what I do. Because I mean, you're never going to lose your friends. You may have a few falling outs over that, but memories are priceless. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.
Just another day.
Well, I didn't know you still came around, but I guess I don't know. It's been some time since you looked at me that way, with eyes that were once mine. Well, it seems that you're doing just fine.
I want to be in that video.
I'll probably be in that video.
I guess I'm
Did a little Macarena.
I heard your
So here is the tree. 20 years later, we're at Allen's snowy day on Millennium Day, so it's like 20 years later. 2020 has been a weird year, but that's where Rowell starts and runs all the way along there. So it's pretty. We're out filming some stuff for the Predator. So just happened to be like interacting with this new footage, old footage, you know, blending the past and the fucking, I don't know. It's weird when you've got people just like staring at you from behind. It's like, oh, okay. So the tarmac area where Brit's just walking into it, that's where that massive slide was built when Payson comes off and he shatters his ankle, which I can't stop pointing and laughing at. Long time gone, like. Long time gone. I just said that though, that was meant to come later on. So you need to stick around till the end of this video because there's some hidden bits at the end. But that footage now is going to get pulled forward, I think. Good old Payson, man. Comedy gold on camera.
I died at the snake.
So, here in the outtakes for the Better Than FA run, you've seen a few old school clips, probably not even in the outtakes yet, but I want to put this clip in. So behind us, I'm out filming something else, about 2 weeks after I'd filmed that run. There was a clip of a friend, Davey Heavyside, cheating at cards, and it's like early 2000s stuff. I need to put that in, but literally that might be the caravan it was actually at, but there's more people coming, so I need to keep walking. But yeah, don't cheat at cards because I'll catch you.
It's orange, just ain't milk.
Is it? Don't have no light, you just open it now.
What are you watching?
No, it's
What are you watching? Keep your hands still when you're talking to me, boy.